Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Juggernaut, and these will be my first impressions of a game called I'm Overburdened. Aside from being pretty much the story of every character I've ever played in an RPG ever, I'm Overburdened is also an indie game developed by essentially a one-man studio, and is set to be released in a few hours today. Actually, by the time this video comes out, it will have been just released, I believe. So, for the sake of full transparency and disclosure, I was given access to this game for free, and I was contacted by the developer, who asked me to cover this game and to do a first impressions review or whatever of it. So, here it is. Essentially, I don't know how to call this video. It's not going to be a first impressions, but it's also not going to be a review, so there's an inherent curse in titling these things, because I've played quite a lot of this game for what it is. Now, I haven't unlocked everything, and I haven't finished the game, if the ending does exist, which I'm pretty sure it does, so I haven't reached the end of the game, quote-unquote. But I also can't say these are any first impressions, because I've pretty much seen everything that there is to see in the game. So what is it? Well, for most games, in situations like these, I would say what you see is what you get. And it's not true in this one, but there is a few things that there are a few things that need to be said. So, essentially, it is a dungeon crawling roguelite of the very pixel arty indie kind of stature. So, what is it that you do? Well, you essentially make your way through the dungeon and acquire various pieces of loot. Now, pretty much the entire complexity of the game comes down to two things. The gear that you collect, and what gear you choose to wear and what gear you choose to toss away, and the fights you take. Namely, the enemies here don't attack you, you attack them, they just defend themselves, which I'm really not sure what to think about, but yeah, that's the way the game's done, so think of it what you will, basically. Essentially, you don't need to fight every enemy to beat the level. You don't need to fight any enemy to beat the level. All you need to do is get to the end. Now, how you're going to go about doing that is a different thing altogether, because naturally the way to the end is going to be blocked. Here, actually, it wasn't, so I could have not killed anything and just made my way through. However, killing enemies gives you gear, gives you gold, and getting to these chests and stuff like that also gives you gold, and you can collect other supplies such as food, coffee, whatever that green thing is, carrots, and meat. And also, every now and again, you will be able to buy something, and here I'm going to buy meat from the weird raven thing. It's kind of like a shop, okay? Now, obviously, I guess, I don't want to say obviously the obvious thing to point out, but you know what I mean. Like, the elephant in the room that needs to be addressed is that this game is rather simple. And it is. It is. I won't lie, and that's pretty much my only, not real problem with it, but kind of my only criticism of it. This is something that I would expect myself to play on a bus going somewhere, or in a taxi or whatever, going from A to B. Right, just killing time, basically, yeah? This is how I would expect myself to play this game. This is how I see myself playing it, not so much on PC. However, it is good. It is satisfying to plow your way through the dungeons and do all this. I don't have anything inherently against that. It's just, it's a little bit too simple for my taste. And I think that's going to be the main point of contention for most people. That for a PC title, indie or otherwise, it's a little bit too simplistic, in that what you're doing is essentially you're playing it with one hand, going through the dungeon left and right. Now, this is not simply a case of murder all enemies. To be honest, in this run you're seeing right now, I got a little bit lucky with some of the gear and with my stats and all that good stuff. Essentially, so I'm able to plow through most of these enemies relatively quickly. In most situations, the main difficulty, or the main problem with the problem from a perspective of problem that needs solving, is when to take a fight. Hey, there we go, we actually have a sword now, that's going to help. One would assume. The main, I guess, problem, the main puzzle in the game comes from the fact that you need to decide what you're going to, what are you going to fight and where are you going to go. So the actual fighting itself is, you really can't influence it at all, aside from not misclicking to the right when you should be attacking an enemy. And also, you know, there is a lot to be said for the gear that you collect and what gear you choose to discard and what gear you choose to pick up and stick with and so on and so forth. Obviously, but yeah, the main puzzle element of the game comes from just that. What am I going to fight and what route I'm going to take? It kind of reminds me of desktop. What was that game? Desktop Dungeon Crawler or something like that? It reminds me quite a lot of that one, where basically you had a D&D game set up on... Or was it just a regular dungeon crawler? Look, I'm old, I'm not that old. It's been quite a while since I played that. So here's... Okay, we're going to get to this in a second, so let me just finish my sentence and then we'll talk about this. So, essentially you would go through a dungeon, basically just clicking on your desktop and playing. It was a rather simple game, but much loved. This is kind of in the same venue as that, as a rather simplistic roguelite. Obviously, needless to say, it being a roguelite, the levels are procedurally generated, they are random, and the rewards and benefits and perils that you will face are also random, so there is quite a lot of replayability. Now, what do we have here? So we can choose between plus 50 luck for influencing the amount fined when picking up gold, plus 100 bonus permanent defense pickups. I'm going to stick with the loot, because gold, and apparently I'm a greedy bastard. Now, there is a lot of health up there, and I would like to get to it. And obviously there will be gold from doing all of this. Okay. Pick up both of these, and we will be on our way. Doing remarkably well so far, I think. Potentially we'll get the furthest I've ever gotten. That was a misplay. Potentially the furthest I'll ever get will be in this run. The inventory, something I should show off probably. There you go. The game is advertised as a hero with 20 inventory slots. Hence I'm overburdened. You can pick up various things, switch out between them, and you can even have... Where is it? Yes, a companion. I have a hedgehog. Don't ask. So yeah, there you go. What about some constructive criticism? Is there anything I would do different, and is there anything I would like to see in the game being added later? Something that comes to mind is dialogue. Cutscenes, dialogue, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Because the game is rather simplistic. Adding an element of humour to it, more an element of, I don't know, some form of dialogue, discussion, or just sarcastic commentary from the protagonist, I think would get the game far in terms of adding a little bit more character to it and a little bit more charm. And we picked up extra luck, so yeah, the theme of the entire run thus far has been we're extra lucky, right? Alright, so, there's health to the left, there's enemies to the right. Enemies to the left, enemies to the right. Alright, that one's a little bit tough. Hey, there we go. Do have a lot of health. So, ultimately, I kind of didn't want to talk about the graphics, but let's talk about the graphics. Usually, for games that are this simplistic, well, not simplistic, but usually pixel arty games, right, don't overly appeal to me that much. I don't dislike them inherently, I don't love them inherently, and I think most people in the gaming community as a whole tend to be more or less polarized on this. They either like it or they really dislike it. I'm sort of like in this weird grey area in between of neither, really. But in this game, it really does work. The just low, the low number of pixels, if that makes sense, does add to some of the character. You know, it really does, and it works for a game that's as simplistic as this. So I think that was poison. That could have been poison. I think I basically just killed myself. Long story short, so let's get out of here. Alright. Now, ultimately, considering this is going to be an incredibly short video because there isn't really much to show, you've seen one run of this and you've pretty much seen them all. Just add to that the elements of replayability, such as, you know, more loot and different builds that you can set up and stuff like that, and then yeah, you'll be there, right? There is something I'm gonna be, perhaps, call me cynical, call me overcritical or whatever, but there are a few games on mobile that I've seen doing basically this. A few Binding of Isaac or Enter the Gungeon clones on Android that I've seen that do it really, really well. There was one I played in particular until a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember its name, but on the Play Store you have loads of these games like these to play. This is just one on PC, or it is available on Steam on PC. So again, that will be my, before I go into the would I recommend it or not segment. That is my sort of not really gripe with the game, but you know, it's my sort of how do I put it? Like I don't know. I guess my one point of contention and reservedness towards recommending it. If that makes any sense. Did I just do over 9,000 damage? Yes. Yes, I did. Actually, I want... Yeah, that doesn't make any difference. Okay. There's a lot of health on this level. Let's get all of them. There we go. We're dull up here. Okay, so, now on to the would I recommend it segment. It's difficult to say. If you're a fan of roguelites, and I really, really am, I absolutely love roguelites, then yes, considering the price, why not? Why not? If you have the money to spend on it, again, it's a fairly cheap game. You can, I'll put a link to the Steam page down in the description below, you can check it out for yourselves. Why not? I mean, it's not bad. There's nothing wrong with it inherently. I just wish there was more to it. And that will be basically my final verdict and criticism of this title. It's not bad, I just wish there was more to it. The inventory system is great. The inventory it's a great touch. What I would really like to do is see more characters, maybe some dialogue, maybe some more interactivity. And yeah, that would bring the game a long way to me basically going, yep, absolutely recommend it fully, it's a great game, and so on and so forth. The way things are right now, I have to be a little bit conserved in recommending it fully, but I will say that it is a fairly decent title, and that yeah, you can check it out on Steam. The link will be in the description down below. So that'll be pretty much it as far as my first impressions, the semi-review, preview, whatever you want to call it, of this game is. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to let you see the... Oh, this is a problem. Yeah, I just got screwed over by the... Yeah, I just really got screwed over by the game. Okay. Huh. Fair enough. I need to get to... I want to get to that golden chest. I don't have the gold, but I will when I get there. Let's try it. This is going to be painful. Essentially what I was saying is I'm just going to let you see the end of this run, and to the point I die, and that would basically be it. It's only filling up the inventory slots, but yeah, that said, I would really like to see a few more characters. I think that I sort of half mentioned that, but I don't think I brought enough attention to it. I think a few characters will bring this game a long way towards greatness. Maybe playing as an undead character where you get more poison, but only poison heals you, health deals damage to you, kind of like the inverse effect. Maybe, I don't know, a bigger character that's slower to attack, but has a load of health. I don't know, stuff like that. I do a decent bit of damage. do is kill this one. Come on! Crying out loud. There we go. Alright. A lot of stuff here I need to get. I don't need to, but I want to. There we go. Left or right? Right is left, right? Yeah, that was actually really good. Okay. There we go. Now entering Catacombs 3, and I mean, that's just adorable. Look at it. It's also kind of what I intended but never really verbalized. This is also, like, the remainder of this video is also going to sort of show you what some more English, try again. What more enemies look like, what other enemies look like in the game, and show you some of the enemy variety that you face. Essentially, the only real difference between them is stats, which perhaps is also something that can change. Introduce maybe bigger enemies that take up 2 tiles. That would be interesting. Essentially, add some more complexity to the game, and I would be a really, really happy camper. And now into the mausoleum. And no, before you ask, you cannot save the game in any way, shape, or form. Saving is for wussies, and that is not what we are. Also, do not fight vampires, apparently. That's extra luck, like, right, yeah, I have a ton of luck. Problem is, I'm not going to die to this vampire, probably. Alright, Geronimo. That went surprisingly well. Surprisingly better than the last one, that is. Okay, more luck, and more armor. That's good. Kill him. Do not fight the vampire. Fight this guy, though. Yeah, fight this guy. Brilliant idea, Jug. Brilliant idea. Don't fight the... Shouldn't have fought him. Now I died. Well, no, not yet, but now I died, pretty much. Lady Luck be my lover tonight. Health. Health. Any form of health. No. No, no way. Holy hell. We might actually make it. No way. No way! I'm actually gonna make it. Who do I fight? The skeleton? I'd rather fight the skeleton. Correct option. Okay, that was thrilling. Very. Okay, let's pick up the meat and be on our way. I don't want to fight anyone else. Don't have a lot of gold, but I want to get more into the... get towards the end of the dungeon rather than anything else. And this stage is sort of trying to blitz through as much of it as I can. Hush, don't wake the dead. Yeah, that's gonna be difficult. Oh. Never mind. Oh. Never mind. Okay. Seems remarkably easy. So, let's open this up. Apples. One would assume that is a good thing and not a bad thing. Actually, why would one assume that? No. Can I take them off? Probably not. Alright. You gotta die. Because you have loads of gold. The guy down here has armor, so we'll be taking that. And look at that, we filled our inventory slots, all of them. Kill it. Perhaps not the smartest thing I've ever done, but I'll take it. Actually, it's not the dumbest thing either, considering I need gold. to open that thing, but I need way too much gold to open that thing. I've got an idea. If this kills me, so be it. Nice. 83. Yep, okay, that was... Turns out I'm a genius. Get through him. Perfect, and on our way out. As you can see, the later levels don't get as repetitive. Perhaps the early few levels are a bit more samey than you might expect, which is, yeah, it makes sense. You know, the first few levels they're supposed to sort of introduce you to the game and get you started off and all that good stuff. The later you get to the things like more enemies spawning in, which you saw, you get things like, you know, gear starts to matter a lot more, obviously, stuff like that. But yeah. Plus one attack for every gold you own. Oh, sorry, for every 10 gold you own, up to a maximum of plus 10. 1 health point is retrieved when you deal a critical strike. That is really good. That's what's kept me alive so far, so yeah, let's move on. I really want the purple stuff, but I don't have money to acquire it, so hey. Place gives me the creeps. Yeah, it does. Never fought this guy. Easy, alright. He's got poison, I don't care about that. There are a few more people. Pretty good. I don't need to do this, but there is no reason not to. Considering, yeah. Just extra gold, why not? Okay, now, yeah, let's go downstairs. Okay. This is taking a lot longer than I originally expected. Okay. Sort of expected myself to die halfway through this video and be like, yep, there's the game, enjoy it, but, well, that was the game, pick it up and enjoy it, but, might actually get to the end of it. I don't know how far off I am, but Dark Souls doesn't seem super far to me. Needless to say, to talk about things like balance and whether this item's better than that one would require thousands upon thousands of hours of playing it for me to, for my opinion, to actually be any valid or matter, so I really don't want to do that, even though I will hint at the fact that this ring has been successfully keeping me alive for a very long period of time now. Sort of hint that that may be, yeah, something that could be looked at in the future. Because I don't think there's anything else keeping me alive at this point other than that sodding ring, which, don't get me wrong, I am super thankful for it, for its existence. Alright, here we can, for the first time ever, we can actually buy health, but we don't need it, we don't need any of this, so, yeah. Okay. So reality itself is distorted. There's an idea. Reality itself distorted. I fought here to get health, and when I got here, I didn't need health. It's, you know, what a time to be alive, eh? Alright, get coffee. Always need coffee, and all this guy if all possible. Now we get health and leave. Yeah. Not poison, we get health and leave. There we go. No risk to find anything else here. Come on. On we go. Let's begin. Tough little bastards. I'll leave that health pick up for later. my way through all this. Now go get the health. Yeah. Go get the health, and pick up the free gold, which is not free because there's a thing there, but hey. And get to the exit. That's the wrong way. I think I can't hold anything to drop something to it. Possibly? Oh, I could be wrong. See, there's nothing useful to pick up here. So, if possible, I'll just... I mean, I could try and get both of the poison, really, but not by much. Let's go. Alright, give me the fireball thing. Yes. Sorry, hedgehog. Well, well. I know the artifacts. Something, something, rather. That's what I said about dialogue. It exists in the form of looks like the reality itself is distorted. It's not a lot of dialogue. Okay? Hallucinating, does that mean... No. Okay, Oh. Oh well, still haven't mastered the entire poison-looking health pickups. Not sure what they do, but, yeah. Turns out the boss was a bit too much for me. I think I could have gone around killing minions to get health, probably, like the weaker ones. I think I could have done with that ring. But yeah, there you go. I've gotten to the final boss and show you pretty much the entirety of the game. So there you go. I think that that is a fair representation of what you can expect. So yeah, it's a simplistic game, but it's not exactly easy that you just just stroll through it in 20 minutes and that's it. There is some difficulty to it, but it is rather simplistic, and I would like to see more stuff added into it. But as it is, would I recommend it ultimately? Yeah, I would. If you are a fan of pixel arty games like this and roguelites, give it a shot. It's not bad. It's, I think, first looks can be a little bit deceiving, and you think, oh, there's just gear and gold and health, and, you go through the dungeon. Kinda, but there is a little bit more to it. It's, simplistic, but it's not overly simplistic to the point of hating it. It's just, yeah, I would like to see more stuff in it, but it's good. It's good. It's pretty good. And if you want to check it out, the link will be down in the description below. So, yeah, there you go, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful in deciding whether to pick this game up and gave you some more information on it that you were looking into. Of course, I do not encourage people to base their purchases exclusively on my video. Please feel free to do more research, and in fact, I encourage you to do so, as it's just a first impressions type video to get you more acquainted with what the game is, basically. So yeah, that'll be pretty much it. Have fun, take care, and I hope to see you again. Bye-bye. Hey, quick second, I forgot to mention something. When you die, or I guess this is kind of like the main menu of the game, right? You do get progression, which is this treasury, but it's off limits right now. You get to see the trophies that you've collected. This, as you can see. And you do get a story, a mini-story from the guy on the left. So there are cutscenes in that respect, but I was talking about more like random cutscenes that you unlock or something like that, and this is the Hall of Fame. Something I forgot to mention, and this is how you exit the game. This is basically the main menu of the game, so there you go, and that's where you enter the dungeon on the left there. So yeah, so I wanted to say that there is sort of like a cutscene with that guy, but I was talking about more like in-game stuff that you unlock, and is maybe commentary or something like that, as far as the story goes. So just wanted to clarify that and add that really quickly, and I forgot to show you this screen. So there you go, that's it. Have fun, bye-bye.